Welcome back to Nerdlo Plays! We're gonna try to get through this right.
Yep, we're going to continue.
But, we have something else to do. Nope.
Wilfred? Or May?
Who do you like more?
None.
Who do you want to hear talk less?
That is a good one.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It wasn't to you. You didn't make the choice.
No, but I helped with the choice.
She really did.
En route to the mountaintop, you pass by a monument to Under King Oris, and May happens to take notice.
Is this all part of your plan, O Scribes? I know I need not ask, just as I know the path you have laid out many times. Same thing.
Takes many turns.
Please, help us navigate that path. My friends and I, we wish to find our way, together with your blessing. Blessings.
Soon she has finished paying her respects.
We're done
As you
here.
prepare to continue your ascent, you sense that Under King Oris has shown her favor. Cool. I'm not using you still, but cool. Thanks, May.
Well, at least she controls like Edwin.
Yeah,
No, she doesn't.
kinda. You gotta charge for jump first.
Ah, shit.
You and your fellow exiles gather at the foot of Scribe's Gate before an archway carved of stone, where stands the Gate Guardian.
Greetings to you, Celeste. I see the exiles of the Nightwings have returned, even as the cycle of the rites begin drawing to a close. The Nightwings accept that this as the will of the scribes.
The Gate Guardian laughs softly at this for some reason.
And you, Tariq, do you accept their will as well?
But the Lone Minstrel does not answer her.
It is no matter. Now, Nightwings, each of you come forth and state what it is you seek, whilst crossing Scribe's Gate.
One by one, the Nightwings declare themselves. You all pass through as before. When Volfred takes his turn, Celeste stops him.
You, I see you wear raiments once again. Explain.
Explain.
The cycle of rites is ending. While I do not know exactly
Speak
why,
up.
I have my fears. One of my contemporaries, he who fell from the summit long ago, he lives and seeks his liberty again. He stands against us now and believes his triumvirate to be the true Nightwings.
A splinter faction from the Scribe's most favored triumvirate.
I remember well the contemporary whom you mean. Then, the Nightwings stand divided.
Yes, and so I wear the raiments once again, in case that it may help to right this wrong. For I am Volfred Sandalwood, and I seek liberty for each of us, so that one day we all might stand shoulder to shoulder on the other side, and bring our freedom to the people there.
She considers Volfred's words for a moment.
I see, then. Move along.
The
Wow.
Guardian of Scribe's Gate regards you all, and then she beckons you onward.
The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. Celeste? What is it, Tariq? The will of the scribes. Long have we both followed it. I think you would agree. In equal measure, has it drawn us close as separated us? But if their aim is now to keep us apart for another age or longer, then no, I do not accept their will. You blasphemer!
Blaspheme.
Blaspheme.
You blaspheme, Tariq! And at the gate, no less.
But the Lone Minstrel simply puts his hat back on.
Then may the scribes themselves
Admonish.
admonish me.
Adopt.
Adopt.
Until tomorrow night, Celeste. Aw.
They were in love.
Oh yeah.
Disgusting.
I called that a while ago
Mhm.
too.
I'm
little while
guessing
ago.
they are more. I mean, I guess he's more than they appeared.
Having reached the peak of Mount Telodial again, you see the vastness of the downside all around you. It leaves you deep in thought regarding which of your companions ought to go free this night, as Hedwyn did the last time.
Somebody lost the
It's talking time!
Hey guys, so like, I don't know what's going on up there with all them stars all acting real weird and stuff, but let me tell you something here. You ain't gonna find a better deal on all this stuff from anybody, I mean anybody, in the downside. You can trust me when I tell you that, okay? So go ahead, stock up.
Hey, look, more dust.
Sell your shit. You don't have enough money to buy anything.
Down, Gary.
She might just, keep those better.
And a black cat.
Oh, weird. There she goes.
Pleasure doing business with you guys, so,
And there's someone who wants to speak. It's Sandalwood!
How did you know?
Because he likes to talk.
He's got
God.
something on his mind,
God.
again.
Man, why do you always have to talk?
Wilfred looks up as you approach and smiles.
I never thought that I would say such things, my kin, but it is good to wear the raiments and the rights once more. The march of time does have a way of healing certain hurts. Besides, the Nightwings of today, we are a very different beast than the triumvirate which took me in almost a decade ago. Ours was a triumvirate of exactly 3, well 4 with Tizo, who proved to be an exception, though historically the Nightwings never took on more exiles than needed. I have mentioned my predecessor, Brighton, and my former companions, Erisa and Orlef. Perhaps naively I had hoped my time with them would not be relevant directly to what we now attempt. But seeing as our stories are now intertwined, do let me know if there's more you wish to learn of them.
Sure.
Oh!
Inquire more about the former Nightwing. So we have Brighton. He is the one that
Got away.
left, the one that died, the one that he met.
One that turned into a demon.
You asked about what Orlek was like when he and Volfred first became acquainted. Volfred remained silent for some time.
For once.
Miracle. I was very, very, when I first landed in the downside, the long trip down the river must have been a little much for me. It was Orlek who found me. He could not have known of my capacity to read before he revived me. He was a physician, intolerant of the sight of suffering of any kind. Not just any physician, mind you, a gifted, highly decorated one. He served on the front. Back then, skirmishes erupted frequently, and those such as Orlek, they had to deal with many casualties on either side. In time, he grew repulsed by what he saw. The sword in his heart a yearning for an end to all the bloodshed, so he tried to use his status to negotiate a treaty with the Highwing Remnants. Must have gone about how you would expect. He was given direct orders to return to the front, but when he refused to soil his hands again, they cast him to the downside. Here he again gained the notice of the Nightwings. He gained the Nightwings notice, and before long he grew to be one of the finest right conductors anyone had ever seen. He was instrumental in the liberation of his companions, whose roles in the triumvirates were later filled by Erisa and me. In time, Orlek saw an opportunity for freedom had come up. He longed for it, so that, with his exalted status, he might stand a better chance of negotiating peace. However, on the evening of his liberation, well, you know the story from that point.
Volfred breathes a heavy sigh.
He and I were kindred spirits for a while. I could not bear to think that he was gone, and now I still cannot entirely believe that he is back. He is our adversary now, transformed, brown, grown gold.
Brown.
Still part of me is happy he lives. Make no mistake, of course, I shall not be swayed against our plan, not by Orlish or anyone. As I've said before, we share a higher calling now. As for Orlek, he wants his freedom still, although I wonder if he still remembers why. Anyway, was there something else, my kid?
No.
I mean, I'm genuinely interested, so... Brighton? You inquire about Brighton, who you understand was liberated prior to when Volfred first joined the Nightwings.
I never met Brighton in person, but I know him rather well by now, though, for that matter, my kid. So do you.
Oh!
He's your dad.
No. He's one of the council members now, I think. He studies your reaction for a moment, then...
Brighton was born wealthy, but not special. Otherwise, you would have no reason to have heard of him. He was exiled for negligent misconduct. I do not know exactly why, and do not care for spreading rumors. I first heard of him through Orisa and Orlek. who found in me a suitable replacement following his liberation. They spoke little of him. Orlac gave the impression they did not see eye to eye, but he assured me I soon would hear from him myself. Indeed, as I became accustomed to the book, which you know well by now, I soon began to hear the voice. Wolford looks at you as if to see if you take his meaning. Oh, right. Never mind.
Yep.
He's
What he said.
He is the voice. You see, my kin, after Brighton's liberation, he assumed a new identity within the Commonwealth, and a new responsibility to the triumvirate which liberated him. That voice you hear from time to time, whensoever the stars align, is his.
Oh.
He's no longer Brighton. He is now none other than Archjustice Ender Nobles IV,
The ninth.
the Ninth himself.
The Grand Judge and figurehead under whose watch the Commonwealth is governed in this day. Those who violate the law of the Commonwealth face sentencing by him.
So he did send you here.
So he is like a weird judge-looking fuck.
Yeah.
God damn.
Liberated exiles are paying certain burdens to their old triumvirates. They have much to thank them for, not just their freedom, but their exalted status in the Commonwealth. The theocratic rulers of the Commonwealth, they do not wear masks and raiment simply for the sake of ceremony. They are not who they appear to be. Their public past are nothing but a fabrication, like Brighton. They once were exiles too. Brighton, that voice. He has no love for either one of us by now. He knows full well what we attempt to do, yet he is bound by the traditions of the rites. He shall always stand on ceremony and complain, but I think he knows deep down that he is powerless. How ironic that one of such high status in the Commonwealth should be so frightened of some long-forgotten exiles such as we.
Wow.
Anyway, that's Brighton for you. He must have seen in you the potential to be one of his staunch supporters for a time. If that's the path you wanted to pursue, I should apologize. Now then, whom else should we talk about?
Well, there's only one other.
Yep, it'll be quick too. She died.
I don't think it's going to be quick. Nothing with Wolford is ever quick.
You ask about Orisa, whom you understand betrayed Orlac at the moment of his liberation, but then perished in the Shepherd Pool.
I'm afraid you know the brunt of it, my kin. But I suppose you ought to know something of Orisa's past, lest you be quick to judge her solely by her actions. I would never. Mind you, I would never make excuses for the terrible choice she ultimately made, but her life, I understand, was very difficult.
Yeah.
She was made. Orisa had been exiled for the foulest of acts. You could see it plainly branded on her face. Such was the heinousness of what she did in the eyes of the Commonwealth. She was an apprentice blacksmith in her youth, taking up the post left by her brother. He had fallen in battle on the blood border despite wielding his father's own lance and armor. Her father never quite recovered after this, and he had grown cruel and detached. It was Orisa who took the brunt of his fury. He expected the impossible of her. Oh, sure, she killed him. One day it was all too much for her, and so when he next lashed out at her, she struck back. She struck back again and again and again and again. When they came for her, her father was gone, and she was not herself. She was promptly cast into the downside for the crime, where her hatred for the Commonwealth only grew. Orisa was always intense in her demeanor, haunted by her father's memory. More than that, her chief motive for wanting back her freedom was, in hindsight, not a healthy one. She longed to join our nation's enemies, to build for the Highland Remnant a great siege and then they could shatter the defenses of the Commonwealth and forever end our feud.
Wow!
What she ultimately did to Orlac, it was an act of pure and thoughtless desperation. I do not think that it was simply evil, nor do I think it was personal. I often wondered, though, if in her final moments in the Shimmer Pool she understood what she had done and the depth to which she had fallen. For years, I must admit, I hated her, but now I only hope is that she found a peace unattainable during her relatively short life in the downside of the Commonwealth. Furthermore, I hope the life of Orisa offers some perspective yet to those of us who have not made the same mistakes. Now then, was there something else?
No.
That's all.
No, holy shit.
Thanks,
I don't-
Wolford.
Are we going to even have time to conduct the rites?
You bid
Nope.
Wolford a good afternoon and leave him with his
We
memories.
are not.
Oh my god!
He's still talking.
Yeah.
My pleasure to read her reflecting on the past from time to time helps demonstrate how far we've come, yet how much further we have to go.
Thanks, Wolford.
So yeah, I don't know if we
And hey, that's it for
Yeah.
this recording.
Alright.
Yeah, so if you enjoyed talking to Wolfred, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.